I'm Eric Paul Johnson,
And I'm Eric Wincentsen.
and we're doing a Zoomcast this week. We didn't do one last week because we recorded our farewell or wrap up episode, and that took up about an hour or so of time just for that episode. So there really, we had other things to do that day. So
We also had to write it all out because doing a rap episode, we had to make sure everything was rhyming and everything.
no, we did not. Do not,
Yeah, we did.
do not drag me into rap.
I laid down some fat beats for you.
Yes, I did too. Hang on, I just finished a bowl of onion dip. Let me lay out some more.
No, okay.
Yeah.
We will skip that.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know where Madeline's whoopee cushion is. Um anyway, we have oh yeah, before we do that. Um Click subscribe, hit the bell. Down there is where you can give us money. Patreon, uh PayPal, to send checks or briefcases full of $100 bills to Eric Wincentsen at the post office box that's down there. Um, if we get enough Patreons, enough regular money coming in, not just a flash of here's $50 and then it's gone. Then the podcast will continue past E.L.O. into pre-E.L.O. and post offshoot E.L.O. and all that kind of stuff. And I'll scratch and straighten my hair and all that stuff. That's what you'll get for if we can get to, I don't know, enough Patreons and enough money coming in regularly.
Yes. You also have me pick my nose and
Mm-hmm.
fling
Yep.
it at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, that way we should get a 3D feed. So people can put on the glasses. So if I flick a booger at the screen and yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be coming right at them.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, speaking of coming right at them, we do have a new YouTube subscriber, and it is Andre Atreides.
Okay.
And I'm just guessing. Atreides is his name.
It's that's not usually how you spell Atreides.
Okay.
Paul Atreides is the lead character in Dune, the
Oh,
first book.
right. Okay. Did Dune have little cartoons and pictures in the book?
No.
Oh, that's probably why I haven't read it. I've also heard it's about this thick.
No.
Hmm.
The original book is normal sized.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of God Emperor of Dune, which is about that thick. That's the third sequel.
So a normal book size, about that thick.
Nah, about like that.
Okay. Um,
Yeah, about like that. About more of a length you should be used to.
yeah. Wait, what? Man, I see now. Oh,
When it
okay.
comes to reading, when it comes to reading, I don't know what you're thinking. I'm talking about when it comes to reading.
Oh, okay. Sure,
Yeah.
right. Uh-huh. Now that we're done with the podcast, except for these Zoomcasts, now is when you become a huge. Oh wait, I gotta get. Hold on. We will prepare. Now is when you become a huge flaming hole. Oh wow.
You did it to yourself.
Yeah.
There's a reason I keep my headphone volume down.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I go for the funny and the funny works, but then it backfires on me and the wife says, "Did it to yourself, didn't you?"
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I hope I didn't break my microphone. That was really loud.
No, I can still hear you.
Okay.
I don't know
Um
if you can hear yourself, but I can still hear you.
it's I can just hear myself because it's the sound that's inside my head. I can't hear what goes on outside anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. We get comments from the last song. Some of them I'm going to guess. I don't know. I'm in Facebook jail. I was put in for 30 days because I wrote, I am going to throat punch anybody who writes passed away. And the justice computer said that was inciting violence. So you get 30 days.
Hmm.
Yeah, I went, I, I was, grammar venting. It is not PAST away. I don't know how somebody can do that, how you can past away. It is PASSED. I can understand how somebody can pass away or past. But then again, I guess past is the past tense of pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you still don't use them interchangeably.
No, no, you don't.
Well, one thing I was going to bring up is last Saturday was Record Store Day. And
Yeah.
which means that other than getting yelled at by the wife, once again, for some reason, I keep expecting one of these years we're going to get a bunch of E.L.O stuff, but it never happens. However, there was one Jeff Lynne associated record that came out this week. I mean, it came out last week.
Mm-hmm.
And it is
Del Shannon Rock On.
exactly his last album. Was re-released. I think it's on colored vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
And that was produced by Jeff Lynne and Mike Campbell of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
When did that come out?
1991, it says, is when it came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it came out on Mole Hole Records originally,
Mm-hmm.
which means it probably got about as much of a release as it did on Saturday.
Uh, yeah, I think my album, The Seven Never Dims, probably got about the same kind of distribution. Yeah.
Yeah, which sucks for somebody like Del Shannon, especially since the failure of the album actually led to the reason that there were no more albums. Now, one thing that was interesting is, and I've never heard anything about this in any of the E.L.O stuff I've looked at. Were they actually considering him as a replacement for Roy Orbison in the Traveling Wilburys?
Well, I don't know. I had heard the rumor that I'd heard the rumor that Dell was going to be taking Roy's place, and then Dell died. So,
Right.
for that chance for that rumor to actually come true, that didn't happen.
Are you eating jalapenos again?
No, this time it was my own spit that I choked on.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't have any water up here. Oh, there's the wife's water, but there are girl cooties on the bottle. Hmm?
Oh, never.
Anyway, we can stammer like this and express my frustration with Facebook. Why didn't Elon Musk buy Facebook? Then maybe I could write things without some humorless, inhuman justice computer with its morality bots taking things completely out of context and throwing people in jail for a month. Maybe that would stop. Because I don't really like Twitter to start off with anyway.
Yeah, I think he bought Twitter because Twitter did something like that to him. Told
Yeah.
me he couldn't say something. He said, "Okay, well, I'm buying you."
Well, I wish he had done it with Facebook because that would have helped me a whole lot more.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems like you can just casually go and buy these tech companies now. So maybe we should just go into Facebook, plop down a couple bucks, and say, "Yeah, Mark,
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it.
yeah, here's $3.50.
We can
We
sweeten this
like
to
Facebook."
we can sweeten this to $4, but I don't think we can go any higher than that. So take it or leave it.
Well, no, I'll go the Pawn Stars route, and I think we can go do 15. That's the best we can do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, Corey did say something about that I should have called him, and then maybe, we can get a lawsuit in motion. And, I'm willing to settle out of court for a simple $1 billion. Mark's got it in pocket change. You know, that's after I got $1 billion, what I need Facebook for?
Yeah. Well, no, and since then, yeah, Bill Gates called Elon Musk dangerous, and Elon called Bill Gates a pregnant man emoji. And huh. So be thankful that all they're doing with their money is going to space and buying tech companies because yeah, they're on the same maturity level as most of us.
Instead of say feeding everybody on the planet and giving everybody a free house, and they would still have enough money to build their own
Well,
star
that's
fleet.
not their job.
I don't care what their job is. You got over $100 billion. Do something good with it. And I know you're not supposed to tell people what to do with their money. I'm going to tell them what to do with their money. You've got enough money to build your own Starfleet with $150 bajillion left over. Do something good for humanity instead of shooting penises up into space.
Well, that was Bezos that made his look like.
I know. I know.
But he already looked like one anyway, so I guess he was just doing a self-portrait with the rocket.
Yeah, he really
Oh.
was. All right, we've probably wasted enough of everybody's time, so let's get to this. Dan Nobles is a new,
Some funny.
well, yeah. Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Jasper. Dan Nobles is a new, I think he's discovered the podcast and he's going through the episodes. And he had something to say about the song from Out of Nowhere.
And if this is the Dan Nobles I know, who is a guitarist in Utah, welcome.
Hmm?
It might be a completely different Dan Nobles, but that would be one place where he would have heard it would be from Facebook of
Mm-hmm.
me
Yeah.
liking it and everything. But
Yep.
no doubt from Out of Nowhere title came from the fact that Jeff sprung this album completely unexpectedly. It definitely surprised me that he was able to conjure this up given the tour schedule and all else he was doing. I really like this track. In his 70s, it is doubtful Jeff is going to do anything. Sorry, going to do anything groundbreaking. He's been there, done that, but to put out this kind of quality now is fantastic. One thing I particularly enjoy, which started from the Zoom album, is he brought his guitar out into the forefront. I had been wishing for that for years. In the past, we were mostly only hearing that lovely guitar work in the background. For this track from Out of Nowhere, we get all of the elements we love thrown into the mix. Although he manages to remain mostly ambiguous about what the song is about, the lyrics are interesting, and I especially love the Let Me Fly Away and Start Again part. This one stays on my playlist. Hey, well, I liked that song, so I
Yeah. Well,
definitely agree on that one.
I hated it. I think we were both at first just, ugh. But yeah,
Yeah, but
we wound up
in
liking it.
second listen, it was so much better.
Yeah. All right. Now, comments about losing you. This one is from Najib Khan. My amazing mom passed away last month. I am unable to listen to this song presently as it brings the grief back too intensely. I'll have to wait some time before being able to enjoy or listen to this again. So maybe I'm not the only one who heard the lyrics and thought, well, this could be about somebody that you really love passing away instead of just a breakup song. And I hope that your mom didn't die from spontaneous human combustion, because then it probably will just trip things off all over again instead of trying to be jokey, which is what we were trying to do.
Yeah, but we are sorry for your loss.
Yeah,
On a serious note, there.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we both well, yeah. I hate it when say it's like, we kind of know. No, we don't know how you feel. It's sort of unique for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, it is. So there's Wincentsen showing that we kind of have a little bit of a heart.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I just try not to make things worse for people.
No, wait, but I got a whole list of dead mom jokes.
which you can tell yourself and your friends and your wife.
Yeah, okay. We've taken up too much time anyway. We should move on.
MJ Fold says, okay, can you explain the ending of the episode for us non Americans? It was clearly a clip from a well known show, but not to us Brits. Good episode. I guess the Jeff track is a bit going through the motions. You make very good points. It sort of plods along, not really engaging me. I always get it mixed up with I'm Leaving You from the last album. I'm Losing You by John Lennon is a great song, though. Both the original version and souped up, raw and rockier version from his anthology. What clip did you use?
Um, it is a show that is known to really well to anybody who lived in Arizona from 1955 to maybe the
Oh,
mid
Wallace.
90s.
Okay.
Yeah,
I remember they used that.
outside of Arizona, you're just gonna get a blank look when you say Wallace and Ladmo. It was one of those local kiddie shows where they would have, kind of goofy hosts and they would do wacky bits and then they'd show cartoons and then they do wacky bits. But unlike most local kiddie cartoon shows, it wasn't quite insipid, vapid. Hey kids, we're gonna have a lot of fun today, aren't we? Wasn't that crap? And it wasn't that creepy bozo stuff. People say, "Oh, Bozo is great," and I watched it. Of course, I was in my 30s because I was curious. I'd never seen it before, and I was kind of like, "This is creeped out and
It's a
creepy."
clown.
Yeah, Bozo the clown, and his little and his all his clown friends, and it was just kind of creepy and kind of stupid.
Hmm.
Wallace and Ladmo was smarter than that, or smarter than most of the kiddie cartoon local shows. Wallace was the fat guy, Ladmo was the goofy, tall, thin guy, and then there was Pat McMahon who did a whole ton of characters. There, one of the characters was a clown who hated kids, and he made his money by performing at kid birthday parties, and he was not the most loved person at that party. Usually just grab a fistful of cake and plop it on their plate and things like that. They should tell
Gerald.
you. I was just going to get to him. They
Yeah,
should.
okay.
They should tell you about the kind of the level that Wallace and Ladmo kind of worked on. There was a superhero called Captain Super, who put on a big show of being a tough guy, but he was easily defeated by I don't know a piece of paper or something. But one of the things that Captain Super did was he was like very conservative, and he would go on rants about fighting against communism in America. And this is on a morning kitty cartoon show. Um, Aunt Maud was a senior citizen who would read storybooks that she wrote, and some of these stories would end with the rabbit dying, um, or children being abandoned because their parents didn't want to put up with raising kids, so the parents just went off to Vegas and never came back. That kind of thing. Um,
One ended with a rant about women's liberation.
yeah.
Pro.
Yeah.
Where she's saying fight the power and
Yeah.
everything else. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Marshall Good was a pathetic. He was a former silent movie cowboy star. Now he was a pathetic loser, and he'd come on the show always begging, "You got $5? Anything." Let's see. It was Joe Trouble, who was a biker who would always kind of rough up Ladmo a little bit, and there was Gerald, and Gerald was the most popular one, and everybody hated him, in all in fun. They Whenever he would come on, the entire audience of children would boo him, and he'd antagonize them. He'd call them names back. Um, at at the first stage show, where they would go out and do their little bit at a mall or at the zoo or something opening up, there was the first time Gerald made his public appearance, and the kids rushed the stage, and the stage collapsed, and Pat McMahon, as Gerald, had to rush to the car, shut the door, and lock him inside, and the kids were shaking the car. And I believe it was Wallace who turned to Ladmo and said, "I think we really got something here." And
Gerald was a spoiled brat,
yeah,
rich kid.
yeah, he's a spoiled rich kid
What
brat.
he was. Yeah.
Yeah. His uncle or somebody owned the station, and he was always threatening to shut down this stupid Wallace and Ladmo show. And they had a rock band, Hubcap and the Wheels, and it was so popular in Arizona that executives from Capitol Records came out and wanted to see this band that was locally outselling Beatles records. And this was in 1964, 65. So, yeah. Wallace and Ladmo was a big deal. It was a pretty cool big deal. It wasn't intelligent insulting kitty crapola. And if you can ever find some clips on YouTube, there are a bunch of them on there. Go and
Yeah.
search it out, Wallace and Ladmo, and you'll see why. Wow, this is so much better than Bozo or any of those other kiddie cartoon local shows. So
Yep. If you know anything about Phoenix prior to the 1990s, that's basically we had this. Let us have this.
yeah, yeah,
We didn't have much. Just let us have
yeah.
this.
And
So,
the show was on from 1955 to 1989, so that's why I kind of did the cutoff at the 90s because in one of my college classes is at NAU when I was 45 or something. It was just like 2015 or something. We had to take something that was already out there and do like a pitch a movie about it. So I did the Wallace and Ladmo play, and I edited together bits of Wallace and Ladmo, and I gave out a Ladmo bag to the class. I just had the teacher say, "Go down this," and by the way, Ladmo bags were full of junk food, candy, soda, chips, and everybody wanted toys. Everybody wanted a Ladmo bag, even if you were well into your 60s or 70s. Alice Cooper got a Ladmo bag on the very last episode, and
yeah.
he thought it was just the greatest thing in the world. And
And yes, Alice Cooper does remember that he got a Ladmo bag because this was after he
yeah, he
got cleaned up. So,
yeah. Um, so I said, and the teacher said, "Does anybody know who Wallace and Ladmo is?" Blank look from all the kids who were well, they were
well, they
born in
didn't
the
grow up with
'90s.
it. So,
Yeah, they were born in the '90s, mid '90s, or late '90s. And even the teacher said, I'd never heard of them until I came here. Because he lived out in New York or California. He actually worked in the industry. And I think he moved to Phoenix or Arizona anyway, 15, 20 years ago, maybe a little bit more. So, yeah, it's clearly an Arizona thing, and people should go check it out.
yeah.
Yeah. This Zoomcast is going on longer than we expected. So,
Well, we get into talking about some of our favorite subjects.
yeah, yeah,
I kind of let a lot of my childhood go by these days and try to not deal with it, but I didn't have a bad childhood. It's just that I was a little creep sometimes. So that's why I usually try to forget things I did rather than things that were done to me.
mm,
But yeah,
yeah,
one of my fun things. Yeah, Wallace and Ladmo is a lot fonder to me now than it was when I was a kid, to tell you the truth.
yeah. Okay, Corey Gomel. I agree. Did we say what song we're covering? Losing You. Yes.
Losing you, yeah, we're forgetting it again.
Yeah. Corey Gomel. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm losing you. I keep thinking of I'm leaving you, just like MJ Folds. I
Yeah,
still can't remember the song. Corey Gomel. I agree. It's a good, not great song. But why? I think it has to do with two things. One is the free as a bird style drumming in the song. It's out of place. The verses almost need no drums, or at least much quieter drums. Two is that doubling and tripling of Jeff's voice he loves to throw in wherever he feels like it. Most of the time it works, but not here. I've been in that earlier version of the song from years back. He didn't have it in there. Should have kept it out. One last thing is the way he plays with the word losing. I might have tried a couple more takes until he got one I liked better. Now, about Dr. Teacher Troy. Ever great on a curve? Ever? We are not talking about a 25-year-old pop star that was 50 years ago. Oh, we are not talking about a 25-year-old pop star. That was 50 years ago. And is one of the best songs I ever heard a 75-year-old write and perform. You probably need to listen to more stuff. No, it's not like those A papers of the past, but I am not foolhardy to expect that either. No, I don't know. I am. But maybe my standards are too high.
And then for one more time. Aaron Jansen says, I thought this was the best and most E.L.O. song on the album. But for that, you'd have to listen to the Clark Jr. arrangement of it. With the added orchestral sound, it really sounded like classic E.L.O. to me. Not sure if that's still up on YouTube on YouTube or not. If it isn't, I wish that I would have ripped a copy at the time because it was awesome. I hear the similarities with Let It Run, but it's still a different song. Hey, better than having an entire album of the same song. At least you get some variety on this album.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if that Lewis Clark Jr. version, has been scrubbed from the internet, just like from Out of Nowhere and anything else I try and find. From Jeff Lynne's E.L.O., where Lewis Clark Jr. decided, I'm going to string this up and put the orchestra back in Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah, and the full weight of of the lawyers came down upon him. And maybe that's how we've gotten away with it. We didn't try to add strings to anything.
No, I know that for Last Train to London, I did bring Ozzy Osbourne and the Monkees together for the transition from song facts to discussion. So I was thinking of something else when I started saying that, and then I thought, no, I better finish it anyway. I think we're done here. Are we done here?
Other than I'm going to take 2 weeks to learn the violin so I can add strings to an E.L.O. song. I think I should master it by then.
Oh, absolutely. You'll be a Yosef Yasef or whatever. I don't know. You'll
Yeah.
be a yo-yo mama.
Yeah, I'll just probably look like a yo-yo.
I think that's where we're done.